that person. Okay, Sam said something important. The ones that shows up early. The one that show up early. The person who asks all the questions. The person who has attention to details. Capital H said the girl is a genius. I choose the nerd with the brains, the one who take notes, a leader, all the above, the humble one, the smart one, the person making the most relationships. That could be important. The smartest kid in the class. We know that the smartest person doesn't always get the best life. Is your valedictorian earning what a chairman earns? No. Is your valedictorian earning what a chairman is earning? So it's not the smartest person. Because me or Ty were not valedictorians. Neither of us were valedictorians. So it's not the smartest person. Is it the jock? Is it the basketball player, the football player, the baseball player that everybody knows? Is it the prettiest person? Is it the teacher's pet? Who would you bet on? The person with the most empathy. No, the dedicated, the most popular one, the hungriest, the most ambitious, the one with the ideas. I love these answers, guys. I love these answers. Would you bet on yourself? Would you bet on yourself? You're looking at high school. Be honest. You're looking at high school you, the way you acted, the way you thought, everything about you. Would you bet on yourself? Okay, I see some no's. I see some yeses. I see it. We're making this happen. I love this. I love this call because everybody is being honest. I wasn't even expecting it to go this well. So I'm actually excited to keep doing this. I see the no's. I see the yes. No way. No, hell yeah. So definitely, I see a lot of you guys keeping it real. So this is what they mentioned. Like I said earlier, intangibles, courage, the person that had the courage, the person that had the strength, the person that had the intuition, the people who were always quick on their feet. I would say the confident one. Another thing he says, if you want to succeed, you have to focus on the now. If you want to succeed, you got to focus on the now. How many of us are living in our past? How many of us are living in our past? For you to succeed, you have to focus on now, like right now, this moment, 8:30 p.m. EST. A lot of us are still living in the past, what we didn't do, how many people left our business, how many times somebody quit on you, how many times you quit, how many trades you lost, how many business you lost, how many people doubted you. We still looking that way. We have to start looking at right now. It says people complain about externals. They don't have the money. They don't have money, but don't notice they aren't adding value to the world. Think about that. Can a McDonald's worker make more money than a surgeon? Can a McDonald's cashier make more money than a surgeon, and why? I feel like we in intensive writing class. No, how a McDonald's cashier gonna make the same as a surgeon? Yeah, crazy. Not if he's trading, working at McDonald's and a surgeon. That's it. You guys are crazy over here. No, exactly, because the surgeon adds more value. He's saving lives compared to feeding people burgers. But yet, if you go to McDonald's right now and you tell people, this is being recorded, and you tell people, hey, look, how much you think you deserve to get paid? People McDonald's would tell you they need to get paid $30 an hour, $50 an hour, $100 an hour. People McDonald's will literally tell you that. But are they doing anything to get paid that? Are they doing something getting paid that? Because they can replace you on a dime. You can't be replaced if what you do holds a lot of value. Exactly. So we're all on the same page. Bill Gates became the richest man in the world because of the value that he added. Steve Jobs brought value to the world. The iPhone. I'm having this call on an iPad. So Steve Jobs brought value to the world. Bill Gates said from the age of 20 till 30, he didn't take one day off. From the age 20 to 30, Bill Gates didn't take one day off. And this dedication is what made him the richest man in the world. And for the most part, the world is more fair than the media has told you. For the most part, the world is more fair than the media have told you. I see somebody saying they have very ugly characters. Correct, but that's on the more political side. We're talking about us here. So literally, you can get paid more if you do more. It's clear, right? You can get paid more if you do more. I'm asking you guys another question, because remember, we're thinking deep right now. We're going crazy dive into this. At what other time would you rather live in? Because the media is exaggerating how bad this is. And what other time would you rather live in? 1,000 years ago, where people were getting hanged and burned because they thought they were a witch? Would you like to live in 1750? Would you like to live in 500 BC, where the Spartans will literally look at you as you was a baby and you was too small to throw you off a cliff? That's where you like to live? We're in the best time ever to live. We're in the best time to make wealth, to create millionaires. We're in the best time in humanity to be successful. Guys, we're getting paid to speak to people. We're getting paid to have it on our phones and trade. There has never been a better time than right now. So it's not as bad as the media projects. Are we deserving? Are we deserving? And we got to think about this. Steps by steps, you can get ahead, but not in fast spurts. And this is something that is really difficult to understand in this business. Steps by steps, you can get ahead, but not in fast spurts. We're expecting this to happen. Oh, I spoke to 5 people today. You're expecting, boom, you're chairman. You got on 3 trades today, boom, you expect $1 million to pop in your account. How? Why? Steps by steps, you will get ahead, but not in fast spurts. You're not going to just fly through this. You're going to have to take the time to make it happen. You're going to have to make the time to make it happen. The journey of 10,000 steps starts with 1. The one you take right now. Then the next one. Then the next one. Let's stop looking past and let's start looking forward. Another thing, this is another cheat code right now. You see how we were willing to bet on someone based on the skills they had, based on the characteristics they had? Who wouldn't you bet on? Write that down as well. Who wouldn't you be? Write that down as well. Because now you know what not to do. Exactly. You wouldn't be that guy that's not motivated. You wouldn't be the person missing the intangibles. You wouldn't miss the absentee. You wouldn't be the cocky and arrogant. You wouldn't be the pessimist. You wouldn't be the person who's not relatable. So make sure that all of us don't do those things, because we know they're going to lead to a bad outcome. And you can literally write that down for yourself. Hey, what shouldn't I do? Okay, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't over leverage. Don't this, don't that. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. And I'm going to end there with this. before we bring the next speaker up. The next speaker is about to kill it because I did the lesson number 2 too, so I know exactly what he's gonna talk about, and we're gonna go crazy for him on this quote. Pablo Picasso said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." Steal this information and use it to change your life. This information is for us to have it and for us to use it. So that's what the difference between a Platinum 1000 and a chairman is. Platinum 1000 copies, chairman steals the information and then teaches it to the family. We ain't create this. We ain't come up with this. The person that taught us didn't come up with this. He stole it too. From the billionaires, from the people who have what we want. And that's going to be the way that we're going to make it to the top, stealing all this information and then using it to take our life to the next level. To take our life to the next level. So drop some fire emoji on this chat if you're ready to continue this call, because we're going to go crazy right now. I know you got a lot of information, a lot of value. I have the notes. You know, I haven't send it to anyone. Let's go crazy on the chat right now. And now you understand why we can't have less than 1,000 people on these calls. Now you understand why we literally can't have less than 1,000 people on these calls, because we're going to talk some real deep stuff that really is going to take life to the next level. And whoever steals this information, I promise you, next 90 days, that Chairman Fly is coming up, and we're going to be celebrating you at the next convention. So the next person I'm going to bring up is my partner in crime, the guy I stood in, I got in the game with. We're about to celebrate 3 years in this business. Ty celebrates 3 years in 8 days. I celebrate 3 years in 25 days from now. 3 years in this beautiful business. So I want you guys to drum roll for your Chairman 50, going Chairman 100, going Chairman 100 very, very soon. Mr. Tyrone Rodriguez, I want you to jump on this call. They want to hear it from you. They going crazy, and promise him you're going to have 1,000 people on Thursday. Promise the man right now, you're going to have 1,000 people on Thursday. We cannot disrespect his time.
Hey man, say man, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. You can hear me, you can hear me. All right, cool. Now drop elite in the chat. Drop elite in the chat for Rob. He absolutely violated. I took a whole bunch of notes myself. Even though I did the training too, there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of things that he put in perspective for me that just helped me understand it that much better, right? So now I want to go over, first things first, thank you guys for tuning in. I want to go over change and the ability to evolve. I want to go over something called ESS, right? An evolutionary stable strategy. See, this is why so many people lose in this business or in any business. So many people lose in life because they're not aware and they're not focused. They're not aware, number one. They're not focused, number two. We're going to talk about change and being able to adapt and being able to evolve. You see, Professor Meganson, right? He says, change is the basic law of nature, right? Change is the basic law of nature, right? When we talk about KT, Kevin Trudeau, right? Talk about your coachability index. It's your willingness to learn and your willingness to change, right? Basic law of nature, your willingness to change, right? According to Charles Darwin, right? His Origin of Species, it's not the most intellectual of the species that survives. That means it's not the smartest species that survives. It's not the strongest species that survives. I mean, it's not the most brolic, strong species that actually lives, right? The species that survives is the one that is best able to adapt and adjust to any changing environment. Anybody that's able to adapt and change is what you call a survivor, right? That's all with every single billionaire. How did they make their billions? They saw a trend coming before it probably happened, and they adapted. A lot of you guys know where you are right now. You know where you want to be. The adaptation is the broke habits you have that's stopping you, right? The adaptation is the broke habits you have that's stopping you, the broke mindset you have that's stopping you. You never fail in life because someone tells you a lie. You fail in life because people tell you the truth and you don't listen, right? So what is your adaptability index? What is your willingness to change, right? So when you do this, right, pay close attention. I'm gonna show you how not to just survive. I'm gonna show you how to thrive, right? I'm gonna show you how to thrive. Being a chairman is about adapting. We adapted, right, from a majority FRX package team to a majority HFX package team. We adapted from Telegram to Discord, right? We adapted from focusing on getting one person to chairman to focusing on getting everyone to Platinum 1000, right? Whenever I look at a rank, right, and this is taught by David, he teaches this all over YouTube. I've been doing this since he taught this. Adapting. Whenever you're trying to attack a rank, break it down into how many Platinum 1000s you need. Whenever you're attacking a rank, break it down into how many Platinum 1000s you need. A lot of you guys never looked at it like that. Never looked at it like that. Because you had what's called a certainty bias, right? Now, a certainty bias is when you're stuck on one ideal and you can't see life any other way, right? You can't see life any other way. You're stuck on, somebody told you, hey, just focus on P150s. And that's all you focus on. You're certain, okay, this person is a Platinum 5000. He says this, so that's all I'm gonna do. That's a certainty bias, right? So we just went over ESS, evolutionary stable strategy. Does your game plan allow room for change? Does your game plan allow room for change, right? Think about it. I'm gonna talk to you guys about this, like real nature. You have the cow and then you have grass. You have the cow and then you have grass. Everyone knows the relationship. Cows eat grass. But did you know there is a relationship there? There's a contract between both of them, right? Did you know that cow's saliva actually helps the grass heal faster? Did you know that cow's saliva helps the grass actually grow and heal faster, right? Did you know that? So the grass has adopted, right, to grow as to use the bacteria from the cow's tongue to help itself grow. Think about it. You can think about it as a one-sided relationship, how the cow gets all the benefit. But look at it the opposite way. Now the grass has a better way to grow, another way to grow. That's why some of you guys quit when someone says they don't believe in you, when you should be using that as fuel. When someone takes a chunk out of you, use that as fuel to grow. Your favorite athletes, look at Kobe, right? Look at Kobe. I dare you to tell Kobe, yo, you can't do this, bro. He's gonna be like, yo, facts, it does it. I dare you to tell Michael Jordan, bro, you can't do this, bro, in anything. He's gonna be like, yo, facts, and then he's gonna do it right in front of you. He's gonna do it to you, not just right in front of you, to you, right? The doubt and opposition fuels productivity. That can only happen through adaptivity. You have to adapt. Now, I know I went over a whole bunch of stuff right now, but adapt. This recording will be on the Team Hub. Adapt, right? Think about it. We'll go back to the original statement, right? We'll go back to the original statement. It's not the most intellectual of the species that survives. It's not the strongest of the species that survives. It's the species that survives is the one that is best able to adapt. Not every chairman graduated college. It's not about being intellectual to hit chairman, right? Not every chairman was captain of the football team. You don't have to be 220, 6'7" to be a chairman. The chairmen are the people who are able to adapt. You have people who come from 6-7 figure incomes already that hit chairman. Why? How? Oh, because they have money? No, because they realize, hey, I'm a king or queen over there, but over here, I'm unranked. Let me adapt. Let me lose the ego. Let me lose the pride. Let me listen to who has what I want. Sometimes you have to break down your old beliefs and rebuild some new ones. That's adaptation. That's adaptation. Those people do not have the certainty bias. They don't think, oh, because I did it here, I could do it everywhere. It's a different game, right? Doubt can fuel your productivity, to answer the question in the chat, right? Unlearn, relearn. Those who can learn, unlearn, relearn are the most adaptive people on this earth. Learn, unlearn, relearn. A lot of you guys learn the wrong way to do things. A lot of us, we learn poor habits, right? What do we learn? We learn poor habits like don't bother nobody. Don't bother nobody. Stop being annoying, right? Rich people teach, knock on that person's door till he gives you what you want. Poor people teach, don't go around bothering nobody. Learn, unlearn, relearn. You have to adapt. You have to adapt. You have to adapt. You have to adapt. Right? So now, write it down. I want you to write down, what circumstances do you have to adapt to? What is the number one area that you have not evolved and changed as quickly as you should have? What is the number one area, right? What is the number one area that you have not evolved and changed as quickly as you should have? Someone wrote self-trust. Write it in the chat. Be 100% honest, because I guarantee you, there's hundreds of people on this call. I guarantee you someone else is going through exactly what you're going through. Being lazy, me too. Communication, me too. Confidence, me too. Discipline, me too. Things that I had to adapt from. I used to play Call of Duty all day, every day. Play Fortnite all day, every day. Right? Procrastinate all day, every day. Oh, I'll get to that later. I'll write the notes for that later. I'll hit up this person later. I'll reply to this person later. That's not what rich people do. That doesn't sound like someone who's willing to adapt, who's willing and able to adapt, right? I'm a firm believer in it. If you know the problem, that's the only way to have a solution, is if you know the problem. Do that self-diagnosis. The only way to have a solution is if you know what the heck the problem is. That's why you go to the doctor before you go to the pharmacy. That's why you go to the doctor before you go get the medicine, right? Understand, what is it that you have to adapt to, right? Some of you have already been told what you need, but because you have a certainty bias, you have the wrong ideal. You're stuck on the wrong concept. You're stuck on the wrong ideology. You've already been told everything you need to go chairman. If you've been in this business 30 days or more, you've already been told everything you need to go chairman. Everything. For the most part. 90% of the things you need. You've been told about personal development. You've been told about a list. It took me a couple months to make my first list. And that's why it took me a couple months to actually start hitting more ranks. It's not an accident. There's a correlation there. I was not coachable. I was killing it in one industry. Well, I thought I was killing it in one industry. And I came here and I had a certainty bias. I know how to do everything. I didn't know how to do everything. This is a different game. The moment I adapted is when I started to hit ranks. Is when I started to have healthier relationships with my parents. How did I start healthier relationships with my friends and my family? The moment you're able to adapt, is that simple. That's what chapter 2 is all about, is adaptability and change. Success is not difficult. Actually, I should say success is not complicated. It's very black and white. It's very black and white. It's very if this, then that, to a T. The then part is where people mess up. Because now you got your feelings involved in something that has nothing to do with anything. You're trying to involve your feelings into a math equation. If someone says talk to 100 people a day for 30 days, your feelings get in the way, right? Your feelings get in the way. I'm nervous. I'm not confident. I don't think I can do it. But if you talk to 100 people for 30 days, you go, let's say platinum 5,000. Let's say chairman. Your feelings get in the way, right? Now, how able are you to adapt? How willing are you to adapt? Because some of these animals that evolved, whether you believe in that or not, some of these, according to the Darwin's theory, right? Charles Darwin's theory, certain animals evolved. None of these animals said, I'm scared to evolve. They were like, it's either I do this or I die. So guess what? Guess what I'm gonna do? There's no time to think about, oh, what is this person gonna say? I do this or I die. I do this or I don't hit my goals. Some of you guys have to start thinking about your goals like your life depends on it, because it actually does. It actually does depend on it. How you live depends on how many people you talk to in this business. How you live depends on how many people you talk to in this business. Whether or not you hit your goals is a life or death situation. If you're not growing, you're dying. Shout out to Brenda. Exactly. If you're not growing, you're dying. Adapt, adapt, adapt. Now, we both have calls right after this. So I want to leave you guys off with this. I want you guys to actually take this extremely serious. Take this question extremely serious. What is the number one area that you have not evolved and changed as quickly as you should have? What is the number one area that you have not evolved and changed as quickly as you should have? And then write 10 different ways you're going to fix that. 10 different ways you're going to fix that. For me, when I first bought the whole course. For me, when I first bought these videos or whatever, when I first heard that question, it was just being shy, not being outgoing. So Mo, I'm going to repeat it for Mo. What is the number one area that you have not evolved or changed as quickly as you should have? What is the number one area that you have not evolved and changed as quickly as you should have, right? Because that's exactly what's standing in between you and ESS, right? Evolutionary stable strategy, a strategy that allows you to evolve, a strategy that allows room for change, right? A strategy that lets you grow, a strategy that helps you grow, a strategy that helps your team grow. Someone said, is there any hints to finding this? Ask your closest friends who don't really care whether or not you're mad at them. Ask your closest friends. They'll give you a diagnosis. If they're really your friend, they're gonna be like, yo, bro, you talk way too much on the phone with this girl or this guy. You need to be putting that time into work. All the time you put into talking to your phone about, talking to your friends about BS, imagine putting that time into your business. Adapting into managing time. Time management is something most people have an issue with. Scheduling your time, something most people have an issue with. Income producing activities is something most people have an issue with. Confidence, being able to post on Instagram, pressing a button on your phone, something people have an issue with. These are just examples. Scroll up in the chat, I guarantee you're gonna see something. When I first asked the question, prioritizing. Some of you guys are on Call of Duty all day, 2K all day, Instagram all day, there's people I know that send so many things to other people on social media that have nothing to do with anything. Imagine all that time put in your business. What rank would you be? All the time you spend trying to look cute for somebody on social media instead of trying to recruit somebody on social media, what rank would you be? If you took 2 hours out of the week, every Sunday, just 2 hours to plan out your whole week, what rank would you be? Those 2 hours, you knew what you're going to do every hour on the hour, what rank would you be? If you swallowed your pride and hit up that one person who you really don't want to talk to on your team, what rank would you be? If you swallow your pride, hit up that one person, maybe your upline that you really don't want to talk to, what rank would you be? That answer you wrote down, the number one area that you need help on, that you need to adapt, that you wish you would change faster, if you change that, what rank would you be? Put it in the chat. If you change that in the snap of a finger, what rank would you be? What rank would you be? You're literally letting that little word on a piece of paper stop you from making 10,000 a month. That is like crazy to me. You're literally letting a word on a piece of paper, a word on your notes in your phone, stop you from making 100,000 a month. Think about that. And I'm gonna leave you off with this. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Right? You're letting that one word stop you from hitting chairman. Right? But you can tell the size of a man, you can tell the size of a woman by the size of the problem that slows them down. You can tell the size of a person by the size of the problem that slows them down. The size of the problem that doesn't let them go up. If you're walking in the street and I throw a pen in front of you, you're gonna walk in front of the pen. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, bro, like what? But if you're walking in the street and I throw a car in front of you, can you walk over that car? No. But if you were 40 feet tall, you would treat the car like a pen. You get what I'm saying? The car represents a problem. The pen represents a problem, but you can always change how big you are. A lot of you guys want to attract big leaders, but you're not one yet. Make it make sense. You want to attract a big leader, but you're not one. Be the big leader. When you have those characteristics, right? When you have those characteristics of a big leader, that's when you actually start to attract them. When you have the characteristics of a big leader, that's when you start to get paid like one. That's when you start to get respected like one. That's when you start to get appreciated like one, right? So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I gotta run really quickly to another call. I'm gonna pause the recording right now.